Hi, if you're new here, I'm Tina and welcome to my channel. This is literally the third time I am attempting to make this video. The first two attempts failed miserably. The first one, I had these glasses on and there was a glare the entire time in my glasses, so you couldn't see my eyes. And the second one, I had a shadow that was like literally right here under my nose the entire time, and it looked like I had a booger. And I am a person that has to look at people's mouths or eyes when they talk, and I just could not get past it. So 3 times a charm. Let's just see how this works out. If you're seeing it, then you know that it worked out, or I could get past anything that was bothering me in this video. I don't know why it is so hard to show up here on a long form video versus on TikTok. It's just, so getting here was a bit of a struggle for me. Yeah, but by the time we get to the end of this video, I hope you understand what I'm trying to create, and I hope you're as excited as I am about it too. So stick with me. Because every time, I don't think I'm gonna watch this one back, because I think maybe that's what it is. Because every time I was watching the other ones back, I would just overthink it too. I would just overthink everything, and I would convince myself, just, you know what, that's not the one. That's not the way that I want to show up. And I would say to myself, you know what, why do I care so much? Maybe I should just try one more time. And the funny part is, it wasn't even about what I said. It was about how I wanted to show up here and start this next chapter. Like the first video that I just had my glasses on, I had no makeup on, my hair was really messy, I was literally in my robe. But then I thought, like, that's not the kind of series that that I want to show. So besides the glare in the glasses, yeah. And then the second one, it was like perfect lighting. My hair was completely done. I had something really nice on. My makeup completely done. But then I was like, you know what? That's not me, and that's not how I want to show up. I want to be super authentic to myself. I don't want it to be scripted, and I don't want to feel like I need to be perfect in order to show up either. So I scratched those 2 attempts, and we're trying for a third time, and I hope this one lands, because I'm trying to be myself as nervous as I am. Because I realized something. If I am asking all of my podcast listeners or my followers to continue to show up for themselves even when they're scared, then I need to do the exact same thing. So here I am, just me and you. Feels like I'm talking to myself, but I know there's somebody out there that will hopefully watch until the end. And if you do, bless you, I thank you. But you know what's like super interesting is I'll sit in my car, I'll press record, I'll make a TikTok video without even thinking twice about it. But showing up here, it feels so much different. I've always been a person who wants to understand why. Why do people do what they do? Why certain conversations stay with us longer than they really should? So instead of asking myself why I felt so scared to just hit play, I got curious about it, because I really wanted to know. Because this has been something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. But I always made excuses for it. I always talked myself out of it. But this time, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue to show up for myself, even though it's scary, and even though I'm super nervous, and even though people might judge. Whatever. It is what it is, and that's not going to stop me from pursuing my dreams. I'm just going to keep pushing forward. As I was saying, I got curious. And what I've realized is talking into my phone in the car is sharing a thought. And getting on here and filming myself, it almost feels like you're getting to know me even deeper. And that feels a little more vulnerable to me than just sharing a simple thought. But then I caught myself, and I was thinking I spend a lot of time encouraging people to trust themselves, to take the first step, to stop waiting until they feel ready. Meanwhile, I was sitting here waiting until I felt ready, which is so crazy. It just reminded me that knowing what to do and actually doing it are two completely different things. And maybe you've experienced that too. Maybe there's something that you've been wanting to do. Maybe there's a conversation you know that needs to be had, but you keep putting it off. Or maybe there's a dream you've been quietly carrying around that you keep stuffing in your back pocket. And every time you think about it, you say to yourself, maybe I'll get to it tomorrow. Or, you know what, I'm going to start that on Monday. Or if I move to my new place, I'm starting fresh, things are going to be so different. And you're always waiting to start. And I think we have all been there. I know I have many, many times. I could literally talk myself out of anything. And that experience reminded me of something that I have been learning over the past few years. When someone's behavior didn't make sense to me, I automatically assumed that I did something wrong. And the more I learned about human behavior, the more I realized that I have spent years trying to understand why people do what they do, without ever stopping and asking myself what this confusion might really be telling me. And that one question changed my perspective completely. It changed the way that I looked at people, relationships, and even myself. Ever since then, whenever I find myself confused by a situation, I catch myself asking the same question. Let's make sense of this. Because sometimes making sense of one situation can change the way you look at 100 others. And that's why I created this new series called Let's Make Sense of It. And what that's going to look like is this. Every week, we'll take one situation that leaves someone feeling confused. And sometimes it'll come from my own life experiences. Sometimes it will come from a story that was shared with me from one of you. Maybe it's a partner who became super defensive when you tried to express how you felt. Maybe it's a friend who suddenly pulled away and you don't know why. It could be a family member that has left you questioning yourself. And together we will just sit down, we'll slow things down, we'll look at it from different angles, we'll explore different possibilities, and not to decide which one is right, but to understand what might make more sense. And I want to be clear about something because this really matters to me. We're not here to diagnose anyone. We're not here to label people or pretend we know what's really going on in someone's head. We're just here to become curious, to make sense of what you're experiencing so you can stop blaming yourself. Because sometimes understanding a situation a little more clearly is enough to help you stop blaming yourself and start moving forward. The goal isn't to have all the answers. The goal is to have clarity. Because when we start making sense of what we're experiencing, we just stop blaming ourselves for things that may have never belonged to us in the first place. So, if you've ever walked away from a conversation wondering what the heck just happened, or am I overreacting? Am I really the problem here? You're in the right place. And if there's a story like that that's sitting with you right now, one you have just never been able to make sense of, I'll leave a link below, and if you'd like, you can share it with me and it could possibly become one of our episodes and we can talk about it. You can be completely anonymous, you can share your name with me. It's totally up to you. And we'll just try to make sense of it together. And my hope is that when you finish one of my episodes here, you leave here thinking, you know what? That made a little more sense. And maybe, just maybe, you don't feel so alone anymore. Because if you've been carrying a story for years, replaying a conversation or questioning yourself, I hope this becomes the place where you feel seen again. Okay, so we made it through our very first video, and if this sounds like something that you need in your life, I would love for you to hit subscribe and join us on this new series called Let's Make Sense of It. Our very first episode is coming next week, and I have a feeling that you'll recognize a piece of your own story in it. So, keep evolving, keep glowing, and never stop showing up for yourself because you matter. Much love.